Okay, today, special guest once again, and I'm going to try not to talk. I've got Italian blood, that's a difficult thing. Bob, what we're looking at?
We're looking at a Corestore today, which is an early form of computer memory chip, if you like. Nowadays, one small chip will hold many megabytes of memory and gigabytes of memory. This is where they would store bit for bit, an early stage. I shall try and point in here. What you have here are little ferrite cores, and they're all threaded through with wires going from north to south and east to west. So each core has a single wire running through north to south and east to west, one wire each. And then, if you can possibly see it closely, there is a sense wire which threads through all the cores in a specific pattern. We're going to look at that way around, and you can see the sense wire zigzags through the cores up and down. The way this thing works is you supply a certain amount of voltage and current through one wire north to south, and half the current again through east to west, and only in that core where the two wires intersect, it will magnetize that little ferrite core. So it will get magnetized. And to read it again, you'll pass a current through north to south, east to west, and a sense wire that goes through all the cores. It will create a little blip at the time when you send some more current through there. The thing and the little core will demagnetize, and as it demagnetizes, the value in it is lost.
Effectively, an on-off switch.
An on-off switch, yes. Yep. And the core, so the crunch is when you read the memory core, you destroy the bits that are in it. However, you know that it was there, so you rewrite it again once you know there's a 1. So it knows that there was a 1 there because the sense wire picks up a tiny blip of current when the two voltages passing along the two wires, north and south, east and west, both intersect one core. Quite sophisticated for its time, and what's more staggering though is these cores go faulty at times. And so when they go faulty, they usually put a little dot of red paint on a core. This one doesn't have red paint on it, it's a bit smashed up. And so there'll be little red dots of paint on each of these tiny wee ferrite cores. Then, when they get, say, 4 or 5 on each of the sections there, ladies with very nimble fingers would actually remove the north-south wire, the east-west wire, to get to that particular core, and then remove that sense wire, which zigzags all the way back through these cores. So they would take all of that out, remove the faulty core, put a new one in, and rethread the whole thing up again. And they would do that maybe with several cores on it. Considering the size of this, we have difficulty showing you how small.
Well, let me get in there because I think there's a couple of points I want to pick up on right away. Now, my eyesight's terrible, but that's the little black sense wires there?
Yes, that's the course.
Right, so they are absolutely tiny. The dexterity you would need to get in there to repair that is borderline being a surgeon, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think before it must have cost a fortune for it.
Yes, I think it's time to
have been worth repairing.
To get the cores changed on it. And this would be one of a bank of cores. There would maybe be about 10 or 16 or 50, 60 frames like this in a box, all with the wires going to them.
I had a look earlier on the soldering in these pins. Back in the day, I was kind of okay at soldering. I think I could just about have done that. However, the job they've done is it's perfect. Whoever did it a lot.
And considering they have to remove that wire and take it completely out, and remove the other wire and take that completely out, and then the sense wire, which is more of a threading problem to go through that, but you get the dexterity you require, even with a microscope or magnifying aids. That's still quite incredible for human fingers to do all that, to get into that is quite something. So we don't know how lucky we are today with the memory chips we have, which are solid state memory chips, but this is the early stage of what's called a core memory with ferrite cores, and it does that.
Remarkable stuff. So I think I have a couple of questions for you. How old do we think this thing?
Would be mid-60s.
Mid-60s, so this preempts silicon chips?
Yes.
Yeah.
I bet they were just sort of coming out then.
Do we have... It must have been a valuable thing because it's hand-built.
Yes.
And the manufacturer thought it would be worth getting someone with the skills of a surgeon to get in there and
to repair it, yes.
Next question is, do we know what it came out of?
As far as I know, it belonged to a computer that Singer's, the sewing machine company, were using. It came from there. It was a throwaway thing somebody was throwing in a box for the skip. And
your electronic brain was fascinated by it.
I thought there was quite a thing, part of an early.
So again, it must have been worth a considerable amount of money.
Oh yes, the whole main computer would have been a big large thing, of course, where you could walk around thing, but this was just a part of the memory in it.
My eyesight is shocking. Bob gave me some goggles earlier on, and when you look into the detail on it, it's absolutely remarkable. Yes. And below these pins there's another set of pins as well.
Yeah.
So there's
there's a lot of stuff on it too. It's very difficult with the camera and phones to realise how sophisticated.
I'll see if we can zoom in on it. Now, we actually bought a selfie stick, so we're spending a lot of money on the Zambo television to bring you. Oh, there we go, Bob. Yeah.
Oh yes, that is excellent. Yes, you can see the wires now, and the sense wires going through it. That's very good.
Could we point to one of the black cores?
Right. Let's see if we can point.
Yeah.
To one of the.
So they were hand wrapped around.
Hand wrapped round, yes. So if you had to change one of these cores, you'd have to take. Well, you can see how the sense wire comes down and loops around, and goes up and down the cores, and then the two north-south wires pass through the same core. But to change like that one core there, just even at the side, would be quite a task, let alone anything else.
And the direction, the way the cables run is absolutely critical to the operation of the machinery. So I'm going to drop my phone off the selfie stick. Oh,